Welcome back to another episode of Positively Uncensored, your favorite reality TV and interview podcast. This morning, we will be getting into Love Island Season 7, Episode 7. Last night was arguably one of the best episodes of the season so far, at least in my opinion. I know it's only week 1, so I'm not being overly judgmental of the season. I'm just saying that we got quite a bit of mess in last night's episode, and judging by the preview for Episode 8, which will come on tonight, Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. I think that tonight's episode will also be equally dramatic. Before we get into all of the thoughts and recaps for episode 7, I wanted to start by reading some of the comments that I got on my last recap. Everybody makes me laugh as I read their comments, so I just wanted to read a few. Somebody said that the audio I have is crisp and clear and interestingly soft. So thank you to Billy Dixon Productions for that comment. That was a very nice comment. I always like to hear feedback on my audio. I heard somebody say in the comments, I do think Ace likes Shelley. He just sees her as endgame and doesn't want to lock in this early and be like mom and dad, upside down smiley face. But I could see this backfiring on him because I don't see Shelley waiting around for him if her person, obviously not Austin, comes in the villa. I think Ace is interested in Shelley. I absolutely think that. I think that Ace is also interested in Huta. And I think that when he says that he's waiting to explore other connections, what he really means is that Huta is preoccupied with Jeremiah and that he can't explore that connection right now. And I don't know. I just don't like how he had something building with Shelley. And then all of a sudden, put an end to that to couple up with Amaya, which we see him regret this episode. I'm going to read a couple more comments from episode 6, and then we'll get right into episode 7. If you're in the chat, comment good morning, comment your thoughts on the episode. Let me know what you're thinking. Someone said, I loved this episode so much. I laughed so much like a true LOL. So much happened. In this episode, I found all the convos so interesting. They also answered a lot of audience questions about Huta. Is she crazy? Or is that how everyone gets in the villa? Nope, just her. And Jeremiah doesn't care about her at all. His recoupling speech was so empty. Jeremiah's recoupling speech was filled with, yeah, a bunch of nothing. A bunch of nothing. It was basically like he read a book on like things that you should say to your partner, and all of it was empty. None of it was personally tailored to Huta. He said, like, you're the first person I think about in the morning. I can't wait to wake over. I can't wait to wake up and roll over and hug you. It's like you could do that with a teddy bear. You could literally do that with whatever you sleep with in bed. Like none of that is specifically geared towards Huta. Oh, this was also a correction. In the last episode, I said that I wish that Love Island was not so heteronormative, and I wish that Shelley could have the opportunity to couple up with whom she wanted. Shout out to Toya. Toya always watches my videos. If you're watching right now, hello. She said in season 4, they actually did allow a bisexual girl to couple up with another girl, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Also, if production kicked Yulissa out, why not kick Austin out too? Why not? Why not? I will say this. I'll compromise my morals, as we've been talking about on Twitter, to keep Shelley in, thus by, I guess, voting for Austin. I I unfortunately will do that. Yes. I love Shelley. Shelley, get behind me. Do I want her with Austin? No. I want him to get away from her. I want her to get away from her. But will I vote for them as a couple to keep Shelley in so that she can await the arrival of a better bombshell? Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that, let's get into Love Island episode 7. The episode starts with Nick and Sierra, and they're having a conversation after they've just recently coupled up. Bella went home, and she wants to know if Nick was telling her and Bella the same things. The answer to that is kind of. He says no. He says, I mean, I did say that I'm attracted to both of you. Nick is such an interesting individual because like most of what he said about both Sierra and Bella was about physicality. Like he keeps talking about his connection with them, his attraction to them, his chemistry with them, his sexual attraction to them. And at no point is he ever talking about why he's attracted to their mind. Now, I'm fully of the belief that him and Sierra have an actual connection. They can hold a conversation. Unlike, I'm sorry, what was going on between him and Bella. But I don't like the fact of how he talks about them. Another example is Nick was talking to, I believe, at least Ace. Okay. Nick was having a conversation and he said, I couldn't help myself. Sierra mounted me. Like, what was I supposed to do? And then you end up using that moment like as a part in your speech. It was just like, make up your mind. Okay. Because I don't like you over sexualizing them. I don't like you over sexualizing Sierra. I don't like you making it seem like she did something that you don't want. Like, it just felt like a very weird way to communicate the fact that they had a makeout session in a photo booth. That's just my personal opinion. I'm here to tell you that I'm voting Charlie and Hannah out immediately. I'm sorry. I don't care for either of them. I'm not invested in their journey. I don't care for either of them. Hannah, one episode, tried to do um like the clap that Black women do. And like, I know I'm not even doing it right, but she tried to do it and it looked a mess. Charlie, we've seen him with cornrows online. So the two of them, they can couple up and they can leave the villa. I'm totally good with that. Don't need to see them go on a date. Don't need to see them in the villa. I don't know. They just both kind of give me personally the ick. So that's my feelings on them. Huda vents to Jeremiah about Bella leaving. Oh, this conversation was interesting. So Huda's very upset. She's actually like catatonic after Bella's leaving. And she talks to Jeremiah about how Bella's leaving and how it's just so unsettling because this is how men are. And Jeremiah gets super offended by this. And he's like, what do you mean that this is how men are? Women are that way too. And I'm like, okay, well, we're learning more about Jeremiah through this conversation. I don't know why he wasn't able to just let her make a comment about a man. As somebody who's in a relationship and has been for the last 7 years, I frequently vent about how men are, and I would be very annoyed if my partner was like, "But not all men." No, no, men are worried about other men having violence against them. Men have to protect their women, in theory, from other, what is it? Men. So, yeah, it usually is all men, actually. So, don't appreciate his opinion, just being honest. It makes me sad to hear the thoughts that Huda's revealing about herself. Huda needs therapy, not Jeremiah, not Love Island. That's what she needs. And I mean that, as abrasive as that may sound when I say that, I truly do mean that in a nice way, because it's sad to hear her not value herself. And I don't want to add things to the conversation or like say things that are unfair, but I'm just going to tell you this. If I was Huda's daughter and I was watching this, I would feel like my mom was ashamed of me. I don't like the fact that she had to give basically like a sales pitch to Jeremiah about why her daughter was so cool, or about like why her daughter deserves love, or like try to like be like, well, my daughter's like so cool. Basically be like, she's low effort, like she's minimal effort, like she's basically just like me. It's basically just like having two of me around. It's basically no different dynamic than anything you're already used to. And she makes a comment where she's like, I'm just happy that someone picked me. She says picked me, even after opening up about being a mom. I want her to learn to love that about herself. And regardless of whether or not potential partners love that about herself, so that she can lead with that in a conversation. It's very sad. It really is. And again, like, that's misogyny. Like, I'm going to admit that. Like, she's got a lot of internalized stuff going on. There are a lot of avenues where I see Huda as being very insecure. But like I said, Huda needs therapy. She doesn't need Love Island, and she certainly doesn't need Jeremiah. Ace has a conversation and talks to Amaya where he wants to be honest. He's open and he's a slow burner. He doesn't like cuddling. He doesn't like physical attention, a physical touch too soon. He like doesn't want to be close in the bed together. And Amaya's take is, we just coupled up. I feel like you could have told me this at a different time. Now, if you're able to, please put in the chat what you were thinking about this moment. Did you feel like Amaya had a point in saying, you could have waited to bring this up? We quite literally just coupled up. You just picked me. You don't need to reiterate the situation that I know that we're in, which is that you're still open. For maybe like 5 minutes, you could have let me think that I was your number one. I'm curious how everybody interpreted that. It's like, on one hand, I understood what she meant. And on the other hand, at this point in the conversation, I sort of understood what Ace meant. But you know what? It's like, pick who you want to pick. Pick who you want to pick, and you won't have this problem. Like, this is what happens when you don't pursue the person that you're most interested in. you pick someone else, have instant regret, and have to explain to them that you still want to pursue the other person that you're more interested in. Like, I sort of feel like this is the, like, what do they say? Like, stupid something, stupid answers. Like, I don't know. I just felt like that wasn't a very smart decision. You had the opportunity to couple up with Shelley. She was with Austin. You got stolen by Ulissa because you were initially with her. This was your moment. Excuse me. This was your moment to couple up with her, and you didn't. So it's just confusing. It's just confusing. And that's what led me to believe that when he's talking about doing all of this exploring, and when we see his reactions to Huta and Jeremiah, that he's waiting to explore a connection with Huta as well. Do I think he's interested in Shelley? Absolutely. Do I think he's also interested in Huta? I kind of do. And let's talk about how interesting that is as well. We just heard Ace talk about how he likes to move slow, right? We just heard him talk about how he doesn't like pet names. Huta day one was baby come over here to Jeremiah. So if he is interested in Huta, I'm struggling to understand like what commonality he thinks that he would have in common with her. I'm really struggling to understand that. So Amaya pulls Huta and she's like, she needs to cry over what conversation her and Ace just had. And she's like, I don't want to hear that right away. Okay. We just coupled up. I know what it is. I don't need to hear him spell that out for me right now. And Huta gives Amaya the advice that she needs. Like, I don't think Hutta's in the position where she should be giving anybody advice on how to move in a relationship. And I think that this advice, it's always easier to give advice than to take your own advice, right? But Huta needs to take her own advice. She's like, don't give him anything. Let him pursue you. You're the catch. You're the one who has value. We have value. These men should come after us. And it's like, then don't move the way that you're moving with Jeremiah. Every man in this villa is currently of the mindset that every woman is going to chase after them. Like they're the prize. The women are just going to chase after them and pursue them. And it's gross. It's gross. I can't even imagine what Casa is going to look like. I'm going to keep coughing, so I'm sorry. Austin asked Shelley, so how you doing? And Austin's tone of voice, yes, it reminds me of Matt from Lizzie McGuire, but Austin also sounds like a creepy OBGYN. Like, I don't know. Like if I close my eyes and listen to Austin's voice, I can just picture him like easing his way into a patient's room. And I don't know. It just gives me the creeps. Austin kind of physically gives me the creeps. So he talks to Shelley. I was kind of confused. I'm like, what are you not getting? Like, she basically just ended things with you, but they're sort of like defining the relationship, seeing where things are going. There's a movie that I'm going to look up and reference on my next podcast episode that Austin pursuing Shelley reminds me of. Okay. Now, Ace, the way he's even sleeping shows how he feels about Amaya. When he goes to sleep that night, he's got his arms crossed. Body language says, keep the fuck away from me. He's sleeping like this. Meanwhile, Huta and Jeremiah sucking on each other's lips. I'm like, ugh. It's just painful to watch. It's painful to watch. It's so much, so fast. You feel like you have to do so much to keep him interested in you and not looking elsewhere. It's just very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Taylor has a conversation with Ace that convinces me that he needs to get his eyes checked because he's like, like, I don't know if I'm physically attracted to Alandria. What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you have eyes? Taylor, Alandria is stunning. She's absolutely stunning. Now, I'm going to be honest, for a brief moment when they shared that kiss after, I was like, okay, like maybe that's not how he meant it, but send in a bombshell for Alandria. In fact, I don't like it. Like all of this wishy-washy. No, she's cooking pancakes for you. She's quite literally making you breakfast. And it's like, an Ace has to be the voice of reason because he was like, she's cooking for you. Either basically like buck up or you're going to lose her. Like show interest or she's out. What I love about Alandria, and like this is one thing, I'm not sure if it's just Alandria in general or if like it's how she's able to move in her relationship with Taylor, but I do like the fact that she's able to just be so honest. And again, I'm trying to say, like, I don't know if Taylor is leaving that much space for her to be honest, or if this is just Alandria's personality. So I'm curious about that. But she always is keeping things very honest. And she's wanting to know, what do you think about our pace? Like, are you looking around? I hate to compare it to other couples, but are you kind of noticing our pace versus the other pace of the other couples? Again, I appreciate the open and honest communication. Alandria is basically like, tell me how you're feeling. You have told me very little, and I need something. I need something because I'm making you breakfast. I'm showing interest. I'm leading the conversation. And that's something I noticed. Alandria leads most of their conversations. Reminder, if you have a coffee with you, if you have a beverage, tea, have a sip. I don't know if we as an audience voted for Jeremiah and Huta to get the first date. I know we did not. I certainly did not make that vote. But okay, they got the first date. We watched them go to the water park. Jeremiah is basically trying to backtrack at this point, and he's like, look, when you told me about your daughter, like my reaction was really having a lot of worry about how she would feel about me. I'm wondering, like, would your daughter like me? All of this stuff. And Huda's like, she would love you. I'm like, don't speak for her. Okay, like you don't know. You don't know. But I don't really trust anything out of Jeremiah's mouth. At this point, it's so unfortunate, but like winner, I feel like, and we'll see that in their conversation in just a few minutes. Now, let's see. Okay, Ace talks to Nick about Amaya's comment about how she said it's giving player vibes. I don't know why you would tell me this right now. And he's like, I could have picked anybody. I could have picked anybody. I picked her. I could have picked someone I had more conversations with, but I didn't. Pause. Why did you not? Like, I know Nick's not a real friend and men are not real friends to each other and have like not genuine conversations, because why was his reply not, and why didn't you? No, genuinely, like, why didn't you? Why did you not pick someone that you've had more conversations with and that you were more interested in? Why did you pick Shelley? Toya, if you're just coming in, I was talking about you earlier in this episode. Hello. So yeah, I think you should have done that. You know, like I could have picked anybody. Okay, well, you should have. You should have. Huda talks about her co-parenting schedule. She talks about how things are easy. She's free on weekends, so she's free to do things. She talks about the future that she sees between her and Jeremiah. She's like, I see us living together. Jeremiah has like this weird list of like the order that he wants to do things. He says like first it should be long distance, then they should do a trip to Sin City, and then after that, if Sin City goes well, then they could consider moving in. It's like, I don't know. Did anybody else think that was weird? I'm like, what? That's like basically saying, I can't call her my best friend yet. Like, I don't know if we're best friends. Let's take a trip to Miami, put our friendship at risk, and then we'll decide. Like, I just thought that that was very weird. And that was completely different than what she was saying. He was basically saying, well, I see us doing long distance. Like, she was like, well, I'm ready to move in. She brought up a wedding either earlier or later in this episode. I don't know. Make it make sense, please, somebody. I'm at a loss. It's like Huda told herself, go on this show and don't jump in feet first. And then she shows up on the show and this is her. Um, yeah, I'm probably gonna make a meme of that. You know, Huda's baby daddy can now relax. Huda gave him credit. Exactly. Like, can men chill out? Can men just chill? Can they? No. Okay, Austin talks to whoever. I forget who he talks to, but I think it's Nick. Austin talks to Nick and discloses that he had a makeout with Amaya during their meditation. Now, I don't know where I was, but I don't remember this. I physically have no recollection of Austin and Amaya making out in the middle of them meditating. Because here's the thing, I also have no recollection of them doing a meditation together. I have a memory of them talking about it and being like, oh my God, we both meditate. But I genuinely, like, that's gone. And that's on 2 brain injuries. Like, I genuinely don't remember that. Now, Austin wants Nick to keep it quiet, which is interesting because, like, Nick probably won't, mind you. he had Ace venting to him about how Amaya called him a player vibe, but she's kissing Austin. What is that thing from Homeland? And you were smooching my brother. Maybe it doesn't say that, but it's like pretty much the same. You get the point. So Ace talks to Amaya. They have another conversation. This is after Austin talks about his makeout. And she's like, oh, she wants to take the opportunity to apologize for the reaction to him just sort of saying where he was at in the relationship. No, she's like, sorry, King. I'm not sure if it was that prompted him to ask this next question, which was, what do you call your partner in a relationship? To which she's like, like, I usually love to like make up a pet name, whatever really sort of fits their personality. But Babe is usually pretty consistent. And he's like, yeah, because I've noticed that you're calling me Babe a lot. And honestly, even Babe is a lot for me. And it's like, okay. It was literally tit for tat. It was like, okay, I see your point. Okay, I see your point. Okay, I see your point. Like, it was like back and forth. It's like, was Amaya's response, like, was she being a little bit passive aggressive, like at his thing? Yes. Would I have been as well? Yes. To me, it feels like you're picking at me. Like, to me, it felt like, oh my God, like I can't even say anything. Like, Babe is just how I talk. Like, that's how I greet my friends. Like, it's a part of my language. Like, okay, I'll literally try not to call you Babe. But it just felt like he was sort of like picking at her. I didn't get the sense that Amaya was calling him Babe in a possessive way, really. It didn't feel like when Huta interrupted Sierra's conversation with Jeremiah to be like, baby, come with me. So I don't know. When he brought her breakfast, she said, thanks, babe. That's why he brought it up. Ace was trying to change her speech and being rude. I did just feel like it was sort of like, like give her like a little bit of grace just there, a little bit. LOL. Like, grace, Ace, just give a little bit of grace, because at one point, and maybe it's later when they talk again, but at one point, like she gets like worked up in the conversation, and you can tell that she's either about to cry or getting emotional about how she talks, because it like slips there. And you let me know in the comments if you think that it slipped there. It came across to me genuinely as if it slipped out. Like, she was like, okay, babe. Oh, like, it's like, see, I genuinely don't mean that. I think she called him sir after that. Ace acted like Amaya's trying to be closed off. He gave her no grace. That's the thing. I didn't get that impression from Amaya. I didn't get the impression that she was trying to be closed off, mark her territory. He just doesn't like her. Oh my God, Leah to Leah. Yes. Okay, so what happens next? Ace pulls Shelley. After this conversation, Ace pulls Shelley. And Austin watches this and unravels. Okay. Like, meanwhile, can anybody just acknowledge for a second, like, what was Austin wearing? The bloomers? Like, did he borrow Jesse Lally's underwear from the Valley? Like, what the fuck kind of swim trunks were those? Those were hideous. So Austin's in his bloomers watching this happen, and he's upset. He's like, I don't want to be stuck in a love triangle. I'm better than this. Shelley, if Ace likes you, Ace should pick you. That's my Austin impression. Like, his voice is very strange, very weird. He was very upset. He was spiraling. He was like, bah! Like, it was like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And I'm going to be honest, Austin, you were just talking about your kiss with Amaya, so make it make sense. Like, on one hand, should Ace pick who he's more interested in? Yes. However, do you have any leg to stand on? Number one, you're a Republican. Number two, we wanted you gone. Number three, I cannot have sympathy for Austin. I can't have sympathy for Austin. I will only keep Austin in to protect Shelley, but I want him to get away from her. I want him and his neck pimples to get away from her. I don't like him. So anyways, he's upset about being stuck in a love triangle. He just reminds me of a little brother. Like, he's like, it's so obvious. Like, go for it. 1 point for Slytherin. Just one. Okay. Alandria and Shelley have a conversation, and now they're talking about Ace. And she's like, I am tired of him exploring. It's Dora, it's Christopher the Columbus. It's too much. It's too much exploring for what? Like, and she's like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna invest my time into spending time with Austin. Send in a bombshell. I agree with the title. Taylor and Alandria need a bombshell. Please send in a bombshell. Please send in a bombshell, because I'm tired of him exploring. I'm tired of Taylor acting like Alandria couldn't just like Alandria sucks the wind out of me. Her and Shelley. They're stunning. Like I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what we're talking about. Alandria has a conversation with Taylor, and she says, I like our connection, but I'm not feeling secure and I'm not feeling confident. Now, Taylor is like a very reserved person who has a lot of personality. He has a very interesting personality. So he's quiet and says that he wants to make a change. He does go in for a kiss. Like I said, my backbone potentially non-existent, unfortunately. So for a brief moment, I was like, okay, yeah, like put some effort forth. But then that pesky little comment from before comes to mind, where he said he like didn't know if he had physical attraction for Alandria. And it's like, nope, I just don't like that. I just don't like that. I want her to be with someone who's so emphatically Team Alandria. Like, I don't want it to be debatable if you're attracted to her. Like that's my personal opinion. Now, if it's a slow burn, if they start out as friends, if things go beautifully, I reserve the right to change my mind at any given point. I do. Also, let's note that on the first date, Ace chose to kiss Huta and Shelley, and he had Shelley smell his armpit to give her a kiss on the forehead, but he's not affectionate in a slow burn. Exactly. It's mixed signals. Because 1 second we're stealing forehead kisses and being sweet, and then the next second you think that Shelley is responding to you to say the things that you want to hear. Oh, what a laugh. What a laugh. So yeah, like I said, I'll backtrack all of this, and I reserve the right to if Alandria and Taylor end up being endgame. And that's just that. Sierra's outfit with the long sage-colored baggy shorts and the like matching top. She looked hot. She looked so good. I loved it. And she said that she likes to wear clothes like that. She likes to wear like the masculine clothes. She looks so hot. I get why. So yeah, she's confronting Nick. She looks amazing while doing it. Sierra, like me, she wants to have a lot of pressure, but she can cave. Okay. So she tells Nick that let me backtrack. Nick says that he wanted to tell Sierra before the girls told her. And she says, well, you might have wanted to, but you did not. You didn't. Like, so let's go back to reality. And Sierra wants Nick to be able to have the hard conversations. She's like, things are going to get harder in here and arguably more uncomfortable. You'll even have more options. I'm putting words that weren't there, but we need to be able to have these hard conversations. Sierra, I love Sierra. I love how Sierra like advocates for herself, communicates for herself. I love it. So she does cave after light but clear pressure. Let's be clear about that. It was very clear what she was saying that she needed in order to move on, but she wants to move on. Now, Ace has another conversation with Amaya. We're going back to conversation number 3. And he says he likes her. Okay, wait. He likes her, but he felt like she was not accepting of his boundaries. Amaya, this is the conversation where Amaya is starting to feel picked apart by Ace. She's like, she felt like she literally couldn't say anything. This is when the babe slipped out from her. Yes, Ace wants a chance with Huta. That's the thing. Do I think he's attracted to Shelley? I do. Do I think that he's really waiting for a shot to explore things with Huta? I do. I do think that. I do. I made a TikTok about it last night. So Amaya feels picked apart. She's basically like, he can go explore other things because I'm not into it. We hear for the very first time Jeremiah and Huta called the parents of the villa. As stated, if you tell yourself something enough, you will believe it. That's what happened here. Jeremiah and Huta called themselves the parents of the villa enough times that people were like, you know what? Fuck it. They're the parents of the villa. And yeah, basically they were like, oh my God, like when mom and dad leave, like the kids cause a mess. Like, anyways, the episode ends with a preview for tomorrow night. The preview of tomorrow night looks like Amaya is having a confrontation with Shelley. Immediately, Shelley, get behind me. Amaya, I mean, I wanted you. What are we doing? I wanted you to solely cause. I'm sorry. I wanted you to cause tension between Jeremiah and Huta. That's what I was waiting to see. What's going on with the rest of it? You know what? Send in a bombshell for Shelley and Alandria. Amazing bombshells. Let Austin and Amaya couple up and leave. Let Ace couple up with Huta. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm like tired of some half the men. Ace liking Huta is also a waste of time because she obviously doesn't want that man. She's more likely to fold for a bombshell than him. That's the thing. That's the thing. She was like, I'm not closed off. Like, nobody's pulled me for a conversation. And he was like, well, you're not very approachable. Austin, I need you to get exasperated and make the comments like about the Ace and Huta situation. I need him to really dial into what is going on there, because like that, I need somebody else to talk about it. Like, can somebody else in the villa notice it? Come on, come on. Like, what? Does the producers have to slip somebody a note? I need somebody else to notice it. So what are the main takeaways from the episode? Huta should not give advice. That's takeaway number one. Jeremiah is exactly like his friends. Huta has bad taste in men. She needs therapy. This is caused by low self-worth. And it makes I don't feel any joy in saying that. It makes me feel horrible to see another woman feel that way about herself. So let's be clear about that. I don't think it's kind to be like, oh, like this girl's insecure and use it as a reason to like bash them. So that's not my intention. I'm not trying to say that women should be ashamed of being insecure. I understand that women are insecure. And a lot of the times why women are insecure is because of societal standards, to be honest. Next point. Sierra finally made sense of why Bella thought that she was going to be picked, because she was sort of in the dark. She was like, why does Bella feel like it's 50-50? Like, what's going on? So she now has context for that. Alandria and Taylor are open and honest about moving their physicality along and being intentional about doing so. I still want a bombshell sent in for him. She also gave him the green light to show her affection on the IFCOM that she was presenting as if she was, because she said she's a slow burner. So if he had the thought that like he shouldn't move a certain way, here's the green light. She quite literally gives him that. Amaya's annoying. So is Austin. Yeah. Did producers tell Ace to couple up with Amaya? I don't think so. I don't think so, but I had that written as a note. Ace needs to stop grimacing around the villa at Huta and acting undecided. That is the connection that he's waiting to explore. That's what I have written in my notes as a main point. Because he's like, do you think their relationship's genuine? And it's like, you know what? Like, you're not wrong. And I love the mess. I love the calling it out. But you're calling it out so that you can swoop in there. And that's weird. Like, you and Huta you're both short. That's what you have in common. You're both short. Okay. I want to know at this point, if, big if, Taylor and Alandria end up endgame and we end up like shipping them, what would be their couple name? Like, I just want to get ahead of it early so that I can have it in my notes. So let me know in the comments. Okay. If you can't even mentally go there because you're like, fuck you, bring in a bombshell, then that's fine. Ace is purposely in his villain era. Yeah, you know, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I think that like I think that because Huta is coupled up, he's not really interested in pursuing connections. And I think that he's just kind of being a menace. Didn't somebody say that menace was that ace was short for menace? I swear somebody like commented that somewhere. Yeah. I will say, and I might get flamed for this, which is totally fair and valid. Out of all the tattoos in the villa, the artwork, like the artist who did Ace's tattoos is very good. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. And that's coming from someone who has like a shitty tattoo, arguably, right? So yeah, that's the only that like I'll give him that and that alone. Did you see that Taylor's girlfriend is online saying he went on the show for fame? I have seen stuff. I'm going to be honest. What I saw, because I didn't know it was his girlfriend, I saw like romance, maybe friends with benefit, maybe not define the relationship. I'm not saying that women don't deserve to be treated fairly and kept open and honest communication, but Taylor seemed to be very open and be like, this is the plan. This is the plan. I'm going to come back. This is the plan. If that's his plan, it annoys me because that would hurt Alandria, right? You know what I mean? Like if that's his plan, that annoys me because it would hurt Alandria. Now, if he was not serious, if they're not, I'm going to be honest, like it didn't change that much, but I'm just sort of side-eyeing. Like I'm open to seeing like, okay, is Taylor actually even open in this villa? Is he even like open to the opportunity of being invested with anybody? Or are we about to see him just playing games and go back to whomever he was with before? So I do have my eyes open on that. And whoever she is, oh, I did not hear that. I did not hear that. I went through Taylor's TikTok and I have to say it gave me a couple laughs. Most of it was stuff about like his rodeo, most of it was stuff about his farm or his horses, but I didn't see any of that. You have one time exactly, and not even. Like it could take me 50 episodes to like you, but the very first time that you play in a Black woman's face on television, I dislike you. I dislike you. I dislike you. So that's just my opinion. Everybody, thank you for tuning in with me this morning. I'm sort of sad because I always hate to log off as I see more people are in the chat, especially when I start out without warning. Sorry, guys, I'm always sort of spontaneous with my recordings. But yeah, thoughts quickly. If you missed my video reacting to Beyond the Villa, it's not my true reaction. Like that was me watching, but after I took time to think about it, fuck the producers. I don't like the fact that we barely see Janae and Kenny in the promo. I don't like the fact that the clips that we did see of them was to try to show that they were having like conflict in the relationship. I don't like the fact that I don't like seeing Black women's pain used for entertainment or used to like draw people to a show. So I don't like that part of them using that. I know that if I have anybody who follows me who's like a Leah stan, they're probably going to be really upset about this, but I don't care. I'm going to be honest. I don't care. I think it's weird how Leah moves sometimes. And I am questioning why. If she, first of all, is Leah the one who got to pick the producers? And is it just Leah? Or were all of them allowed to be involved in post-production and pick the producers? Because it sort of seems like the producers that Leah picked are good for Leah and Leah only, because we saw great clips of her and Miguel frequently throughout the previews. But how the producers do her friends, I mean, we've already seen Janae in the comments saying that she felt like the edit was messy. They're messy. So I don't like that. I don't like that. The first time a producer would do something to my friend, if I had that type of power to really be like, oh, get her out of here or get him out of here, I'd be like, no, because you try to manipulate something and make it into something it's not every single time. It's just weird. We're about to see today's Tuesday. So tomorrow night, is tomorrow night? No, I don't know. There's going to be an episode after Sun where Janae and Serena are brought on. Listen, the script was kind of weird. To me, listening to it live in the moment, the PP, the G, PP, I'm immediately thinking sex. G, I did think it was about the G spot. Don't even know if I can say that on YouTube. But I didn't get that from it. This is coming from somebody who, I'm going to be honest, Shelley said something last season about Janae. Maybe she said that she was like the one who would stir the pot the most or something. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. This comment, I don't know that I saw it in the way that people are taking it, that Leah's fans took it, that Leah took it. Also, if Leah's the whole show, as they say, wouldn't she be the P? Right? Right. Like, come on. 1 second she's the whole show and like she's the P and PPG, and the next second she's the G. Like, I don't know. It's just too much for me. It's just really too much for me. That's my opinion. I don't think that you need to we're not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. You don't need to announce like, I was offered that, but I said no. Good for you, little earthlings. Good for you, little smalls. You're going to go to that, but I won't. I don't have time for that in my schedule. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm sorry. This is coming from somebody who, yeah, I'm just going to be honest about my reality TV opinions. I'm just going to be honest. It makes me feel weird. It makes me as an observer feel weird. People have been on me in my comments like since last season. I've been like, oh, like you don't like Leah, or like you're a hater. And then at other times people will be like, oh my God, like you've never even heard the saying like white woman tears or white woman scared until like Leah said it. It's weird. The fans are weird. The fans are fanning. They're weird. I sounded like Lois Griffin there. Tell me I didn't with my voice. So anyways, this is pretty much everything I have to say. Beyond the villa, I don't want to see our couples relationships dragged through the mud. It's not something I ever wanted to see. I'm hoping it's fun. I'm hoping it's a fun show. I'm hoping that it's fun to watch. I'll be honest, just even having them back on our screens, I'm going to be tuning in and excited to watch it. I'll be interested to see what happens with Nicole and Kendall's situation. I'm probably going to have to like update myself and remind myself of what was going on in their relationship, because the last I remembered, I felt some type of way about Nicole after her interview on Bio Files. And I was kind of like, that was kind of rude. Like, that was kind of really rude. But so that's my opinion. Everybody have a great rest of your day. If you haven't liked this video already, please like the video. Please make sure you're subscribed. If you're not on my TikTok, make sure you find me over there. I'm on TikTok. Did I say TikTok or Spotify? Find me everywhere. This is my podcast. I have a podcast. I'm going to be waiting to interview people from the season. Fingers crossed. I'm trying to get the exit interviews. I'm trying to get those to happen so that I can talk to people as they leave the villa. If I'm able to do that, it'll be very interesting when I get to talk to certain individuals, so we can ruminate about questions I would have for them in advance. I hope the rest of you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for spending any amount of time with me this morning. If it's raining for you, enjoy, drink your water, and everybody, bye.